Welcome everyone to a new series on the channel. This is called Bake a Cake Challenge. It's an older challenge from FS22 that has been brought back and kind of remixed for Calmsden Farm by Jelsa Farmer. I'll leave his link in the description below along with a lot of the rules. And this is just going to kind of be a setup video on how you go about doing this challenge. Basically, you start off a new farmer and you sell off all the land that you normally get, except for land 1, 36, and 35. You need to keep 1 because it keeps, let's turn on the farmland, it keeps all this peripheral outside map, and you need that area. So you're going to sell all that off. You also need to sell off all the equipment you had, all the equipment that was there, so that you're left with no equipment. Then you can come over here in this area right here and place down a bakery, grain mill, and a dairy. Now, as you can see, we just kind of, and you can spend some money to terraform and decorate over here because you're gonna have a lot of money after you sell all that land and equipment. I forgot, so it is what it is. It looks like it does, but basically what we're trying to do, the goal is to bake and sell 1 pallet of cakes. Now that you have to provide all the ingredients. So if we come in here, I can probably do it in my menu too. So if we come in here and we look at the bakery, you have, we'll probably do it with flour, but basically you need butter, eggs, flour, bottled milk. That's bottled milk is where the dairy comes in. Obviously flour is where the grain mill comes in. We need sugar, strawberries. Now this one, okay. I guess we're down here. Sugar, bottled milk, eggs, butter. Dairy will also get us the butter. So as you can see, we're gonna need crops to get the flour. We're gonna need sugar cane for the sugar. Dairy, cows or goats would work, but we're gonna do cows because of our setup. Um, Eggs, you're gonna need chickens. Gonna need a greenhouse to produce the strawberries. So that's the first thing is you're gonna try and complete that. Uh, get all the materials for that to make 1 pallet of cakes. Seems easy on the surface, but that's a lot of different crops and a lot of different things that you've got to do to get 1 pallet of cakes, considering you're providing all the resources for that. Um, and like I said, you do have the existing farms. So we do, if we come over here, we have this cow shed, this dairy. So that's why I say we'll be using cows. Either, I imagine we could use water buffalo in this as well, just for something different. Since they produce, I think I'd have to do some research, but either them or dairy cows. So yeah, that's kind of our setup. We've got that. We got the manure pit. We sold off all the equipment. Now, once you've sold off everything and you have all that money and you've placed down your 3 structures, you can buy a tractor. And you can buy 1 tractor that has up to 150 horsepower. Brand new. You can trick it out however you want to do it. So that's what we've done over here on this side of the farm. I've got this Fendt 714 Vario, which, as you can see in the lower corner there, is 150 horsepower dead on. And I've fully customized it, put wide tires with weights on it. Like I said, that money's gone. Once you get all that, if you're on PC, you can use something like Power Tools, which is what I did, to get yourself down to $10,000. If you're on console, you're going to want to lease equipment and keep spending until you get close to 10,000. It can be, 10,200. Just get close. So, cotton harvesters are probably the most expensive thing to lease. It's just starting there. Just it's going to take you a while, but just do that until you've got that done. Um, some of the other rules, I guess we will say, is the biogas plant and the sawmill you own. You can sell the sawmill if you want. It doesn't get you anything. It's up here. If you want to sell this, it would get you zero. You also own, I believe this is the biomass plant down here. I quit clicking on the wrong things. Let's get off of farmland. Not one to cooperate. Yeah, this is the biogas plant. You do own this too, but you cannot sell this because if you went to sell this, it's worth almost a $500,000, which is kind of too cheaty. So if you want to sell it before you go down to your 10 grand, go ahead. But you might want that later on, especially if you're running cows. You might be able to run some manure over there, slurry, and get some extra money for power. Um, Let me look and see what's the other rules is we can do contracts and you can borrow the equipment for them. You can lease equipment in this challenge and you can do additional loans. So you start out with zero loans, so you're at zero, but you can do additional loans as much as you want. Now, stage two, after you have the pallet of cakes, is to pay back any loans that you might have and get $500,000 in your account. You can't sell off like vehicles and property to get that, but honestly, if you're at that point that you've got a pallet of cakes, 500,000 isn't going to be that hard to get. You probably don't need to sell off equipment. But yeah, that's kind of where we are. I'm going to go over the settings too because there is a few things there that's kind of different. I'm going to shut that off. Timescale, you can do whatever you want. You can manipulate it, move it back and forth. I'm got it slowed down right now because I was setting this up and just trying to save some time. Economic difficulty has to be on normal. Everything is basically on. So traffic is on. Not a big fan of that. If you've watched any of mine, I hate traffic, especially on this narrow one. It's going to be terrible. Seasonal growth, yes, needs to be on. Days per month, that's up to you. You can change that. I'm going with one. If it gets later on, I need more. I can change that. Snow is on. All this is on. Crop destruction. I've never even played with crop destruction on. I hate that, but for this challenge, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Disaster is on. It is enabled. Dirt is normal. This stuff you can. I know a lot of people like their engine automatic start off. I've always had it on, but you can play with that. Here's the other big deal. Fuel usage is high. So I've never played that way. Will be interesting to see how it goes. Um, as far as your AI workers, everything's off. So that's kind of basically the settings of how you do everything. Collectibles, I guess, is another thing you can. I'm not even sure if there is collectibles on this map, but part of the rules from him is collectibles is okay. So I guess if you find a collectible, congratulations. Like I said, I have no idea what they are on this map. You can sell off your buildings here. Just keep in mind with this map, you really don't get anything for selling them. So, um, if you want the area and you want to go ahead and use it for something else, don't like the buildings, yeah, by all means sell it off. But there isn't much benefit, or there's no financial benefits, I guess is what I'm saying. I guess one thing I want to go over too is, you do have a grass field here, but keep in mind let's go back to this farmland. This area is kind of inaccessible, this lighter green, but this area you can access. So if you come around the shop here, you can mow all this for grass. So you're good to go there. And same up here is a good nice area that you can mow as well. I think there's a little bit down here that you can mow. So just keep that in mind. There's areas around the map that you can mow, and you could even probably go back up in here and cut a field out if you want to create a field there. Likewise here, you could make yourself a big field right behind your factories. I guess one other thing I didn't talk about is mods. Mods, you're allowed to have mods. Go ahead and download mods. Just not too cheaty ones. No government subsidies. No buying stations. I guess is another one which I guess I understand. If you had a buying station, then you could buy, say, your strawberries instead of producing it. So no buy stations, none of the government subsidies, um, buyable product pallets, stuff like that. You need to produce everything yourself. So that's kind of where we are. This series is probably going to replace my other Calmsden series. Think this sounds like a much funner challenge, and to do it along with a couple other people who are doing it sounds great. Um, my Survive 25 series, since that's a multi-year one, it's probably going to slow down and go down to once, maybe twice a week. So for the time being, this is going to be the series that I do the most of, along with the Animal Whisperer, until we get another map and another series. But this is just a setup video. If you have any questions, leave them down below. And if you're gonna do the challenge along with us, let us know down below. But I'm gonna get started on this in the next episode. This was just kind of a setup, but it's gonna be fun. So I'll see you then. Thanks. Bye.